Woj, lay it out for us. What do we know about how this happened and how we got
it? Listen, this is a massive deal all around. Listen, for the Brooklyn Nets to go out and get James Harden, this was something that Kevin Durant very much wanted. He and Harden started talking about this months ago. And listen, with the uncertainty surrounding Kyrie Irving right now, and I think there's still hope, expectation, he returns and plays for this team. Remember, free agency comes back upon you pretty quick in this league. Kevin Durant's in the second year of a 4-year deal, and getting Harden, that's another reason for Durant to want to stay. But now, if you get Irving back and he's back to playing at a high level, you have a 1-2-3, perhaps unlike we've seen in this league in the modern era, but certainly it comes at a steep price. 4 first-round picks, 4 pick swaps. The picks are unprotected. One of those picks is coming from Cleveland. This is part of a 3-way deal, really a 4-way deal. Karis LeVert goes from the Nets to the Indiana Pacers, and Indiana sends Victor Oladipo to Houston. So a lot of moving parts in this deal.
Let's talk about this 4-team deal. Give us a little more detail on the second level part of this, other than just James Harden joining the Nets.
Well, I think this was a deal really that came together in the last couple days, and Philadelphia was very much in pursuit of James Harden. Obviously, Daryl Morey, their president, traded for him in Houston, won a great deal with him. But ultimately, this Nets deal, this package, bringing Cleveland into it, got it done. And I think for Houston, you look at them, remember, they gave up a lot of picks in that Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook deal. They get them back and then some, and it gives the Rockets now, their new GM, Rafael Stone, an ability to start a rebuild. Victor Oladipo's in the last year of his contract. They can see how that goes. Do they want to re-sign him? Does he want to be there? But certainly a blockbuster deal by any standard in the NBA, and it is going to be fascinating to see Harden and Kevin Durant reunited in Brooklyn. Obviously, they played in Oklahoma City together, and then Kyrie Irving likely, potentially, you would expect at some point as part of that mix too.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know that you listened to our show earlier, and if you haven't, definitely go and listen to that from earlier. This is breaking news. We might not be first, but we're definitely not going to be last with this one. The Houston Rockets, Rafael Stone, who in a effort to show that he is not going to be in Daryl Morey's shoes, pulled out all of his stones and traded James Harden, the huevos, as John Gotti would say, to trade James Harden today. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. James Harden traded just hours after rumors had came out that he was going to still be a Rocket up until the end of the season. The Rockets brass said, enough is enough.
And it's time for a change. Doc, I'm so happy that you wasn't referring to the Infinity Stones, because 2020 was horrible. The last thing we need is for anyone to have those Infinity Stones. But what a way to start it off. I mean, there are things that brings Doc joy, but this trade right here definitely puts a smile on his face.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I was outside walking. I was walking. It's a beautiful, even though it was like 55 degrees, it's a beautiful day. John Gotti's on the phone. He says, "Oh my God."
Well, come on, Sammy. You bad. Shoot me. Man, would you shut up, man?
That's something I didn't tell you.
What? I got to paint a target on my ass? Well, come on. Oh, oh. Oh my God, you shot me.
They did it. I said they did what? They did what? Who did what? The Rockets actually traded James Harden. And I said, what?
He actually did say what? He actually said just
I said, don't you dare tell me anything. I got to read this. We better not have accepted some bums. What is it? And of course, my phone, Woj was like trying to update everything because there was so many
It
moving
was a
pieces.
lot.
It was so fast. It was like the stock market. And before I knew it, in 3 minutes, we had accumulated like 6 draft picks, and then Oladipo came out of nowhere.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. So just to give you an idea here, James Harden to the Nets, blockbuster 4-team trade that does involve the Rockets, Nets, Pacers, and Cavaliers. Of course, the Nets do get James Harden. And this is according to Woj. And we told you this a few weeks ago. We always wait
on Woj.
for Woj.
Yep.
So the Nets sent the Houston package, of course, that did include Karis LeVert, which I always thought his name was Chris, but apparently it's Karis.
Yeah.
And then the Rockets then took LeVert and traded him to the Pacers for Victor Oladipo, which was such a sweet swap for the Rockets, getting additional veteran presence and a bona fide star in Victor Oladipo, who has a lot to prove. The Nets also sent Jared Allen and Taurean Prince to the Cavs, in which the Rockets receive also, in addition to Victor Oladipo, they obtain Dante Exum and Brooklyn forward Rudion Caruso, which I like. I think Rudion's going to be good. 6'9", nice, small, medium-sized frame. I think he can shoot the 3 ball.
Yeah, he can shoot the 3 ball pretty well.
And that's somebody that we're going to need, because there are times where we really, really struggle to score. And now when you're not going to have a guy dominating the basketball and you're going to have this movement of the ball, we're going to need a guy like Rudion. So I'm really happy about that. But the part that separates Raphael Stone from Daryl Morey.
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer.
This is it right here. And I'm talking about you, Daryl. You listen, and you listen good.
Here we go.
Houston Rockets actually received draft capital.
A lot
of
draft capital.
And listen, I'm not talking about the Washington, D.C. capital. I'm talking about NBA draft capital.
I apologize for Doc being too hyped right now, folks.
Which we never, ever see. I don't think I've seen a draft pick since Royce White or I think we drafted Jeremy Lamb in them, and then we might have had a sprinkle of a second-round pick that we probably let go. A year later, we always trade those picks, which I'm still very upset with the guard that we traded to the Grizzlies a couple of years ago. I was really, really unhappy with that because I thought that he was going to be a really good player. And that player is DeAnthony Melton, who just got the extension last year with the Grizzlies. Great player.
Yep.
But we're not there. We get draft capital. First round picks galore. Brooklyn's unprotected 2022, 2024, and 2026 deals. And then we're going to swap, which usually, for those that don't know, the swap means whoever has the best, I guess.
Yes.
Whoever has the best, which there's a possibility that it can go either way. So 2021, 2023, 2025, and 2027, we're talking about swapping whoever has the best and whoever has the worst. They swap. It's so great. But the kicker, John Gotti, the Cleveland Cavaliers 2022 first round pick. And if they do wind up getting rid of, Andre Drummond, which was speculation that we saw, and they do continue to lose, that pick next year, that's going to be a good pick.
That could be a potential top 10, top 15 pick right there.
Exactly. So we're talking about a deal that really propels the Rockets into a different game. They can all kind of buy in to what Silas is trying to do. And that's why I'm rejoicing. I'm outside my apartment. I'm walking around. The weather's nice. I'm really feeling this sense of Goodness.
You could probably say that the Doc was feeling the glow.
That's very close.
Yes.
I felt like it was very close. And it's so funny because, and I think I sent you the book earlier that I was reading, it's about Danish happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, yeah, because
they
we were
call
talking
it,
about that,
yeah,
how those countries are like some of the happiest countries to also live.
yes. And it's called Hygge,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I was in a Hygge space. Like I was like so happy. I'm like so joyous. I got a good meal. I had a good drink. I had a good walk. Everything's going good. And
Yep.
then you drop this great news on me. And now here we are an hour or so later. And I'm just so thrilled.
So much so that he might actually play Madden 21. I'm joking.
Hygge denied.
But Doc, I mean, let's talk about moving forward now. The Rockets don't need to attempt a tank at all.
They don't.
They can still, and you even said it this year, even without playing Harden, because we both said they're probably better off just letting Harden sit on the bench because he doesn't really help out when he's playing the game.
When he's in the game, and I think I don't know if Chris Paul said it, but I know Russell Westbrook said it, and I've noticed it after Russ said it. Whenever the play doesn't involve him, he doesn't move.
Nope.
He goes to the wing, usually on the left, and he just stays there. So the defense, I mean, you can kind of see it, but when he has the ball, obviously he's really involved. So I'm interested to see, if he plays the same way, under, Steve Nash. Hopefully he doesn't. But maybe Steve Nash. And honestly, the reason why he probably went to Brooklyn, obviously, is because of Mike D'Antoni.
Of course.
He probably said, you know what, either I'm going to play with Daryl or I'm going to play with Mike. Mike obviously knows what James can do, and he probably was really comfortable in that system, so he decided to go there. I don't blame him. The Nets gave up a huge haul. This is looking like Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce all over again.
This is exactly like Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce all over again.
I'm hoping it works out for them, but they're also dealing with this Kyrie Irving drama, which, I was really, really hoping not to see Kyrie anywhere on this trade.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I did not want to see that at all. Like I was looking, I'm like, don't you dare tell me they swapped for Kyrie.
I mean, if it was Daryl Morey, I think he would have definitely included Kyrie Irving in that deal.
He would have, and he would have gave up a first round pick. But maybe the Nets will trade Kyrie. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, they've pretty much destroyed their core.
Well, the problem is if Kyrie doesn't want to play, it makes it really hard to trade him.
Maybe there's something going on.
And I know there's Knicks fans that are upset because they didn't get James Harden. I don't want James Harden on the Knicks. I don't want that cap. I don't want that drama. I think we're building something here that, all we really need is like a good piece, maybe in the draft, maybe someone that's not a top flight when it comes to contract situation wise. Like we can make some noise, but everyone started to go crazy after that 5-3 start. And I'm like, it's only 8 games. Relax, everyone. But this isn't about the Knicks. This is about the James Harden trade. I mean, does this make them contenders? Does this, or not even a quarter of way season through?
I mean, let's look at it from all 4 teams standpoint. So obviously the Rockets haven't been winning with the type of ball, but they've also been struggling with COVID. They have some injuries. Daniel House, I think, has a really, really bad back.
Yep.
I know Christian Wood missed a game or 2. Boogie missed a game or 2. Well, Boogie keeps getting suspended for some reason, or not suspended. He keeps getting ejected for some reason. So that's why I was really surprised that we didn't get a big in this deal. I was really, really surprised that we didn't try to get Jared Allen in that deal, or even somebody like Andre Drummond in this deal. It would have been really, really good for us to get just one more big, because I feel like that's what we need to compete with the Lakers. I feel like we get out rebounded very often, and I think having one more big wouldn't have hurt us. So the Rockets, I think, obtaining the services of the pieces that we got today and the picks, although it's not the complete haul that I thought it would be. And granted, this trade could still expand. It's not set in stone. But getting Oladipo,
I think
who
that
can
really, really helps out. I think that's a great
yeah,
replacement for Harden. To be
yeah.
honest with you,
Even don't get me wrong, I love LeVert. I think LeVert's a really, really good player. He reminds me of what I thought Marshawn Brooks was gonna be, which I really, really like Marshawn Brooks when he was in Brooklyn. But he's a really, really good player, can hold his own. So I think the Nets going to a place where, hey, our team now is all about redemption.
yes,
All of them. The whole team is redemption. Everybody's trying to prove something. Can I stay healthy? Can I return to form? Can I coach in this league? Am I still good? So I think they can build around that and really push to be a 3 to 6 seeded team
I can see
and
them being
compete.
between 5 and 7.
So yeah, see, I'm more optimistic, of course,
I know.
because I think with the system that Silas is going to put in play, I'm thinking 3 to 6 because of the players that they have, and these are guys we're going to buy in, and we've seen it work where when James Harden's not on the floor, we're a better basketball team.
Yeah, your plus minus is actually better by 60% when James
That's
Harden's
a huge margin, because the ball movement stops. He doesn't play great defense. So now you're talking about getting Oladipo, who plays defense. You have an emerging young player in Jayshawn Tate. You have some other young players that are coming in. You get this other, Rudion, who again is going to get some time because he has a big frame and he can shoot the three. And we need one more player because a lot of people are getting hurt. So I think getting these players is going to be good. So that's where I feel like the Rockets. I think the Nets, I don't know, because we're talking about Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, Torian Prince. This is their core that kind of took them to the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Spencer Dinwiddie's out. Kyrie is, I don't know what Kyrie's doing.
I don't know.
At one moment he's, lighting what's that called? Sage.
Yep.
He's lighting sage and he's taking it around the stadium. And then the next minute, he's talking about being an artist, and then, a week later he's gone. So I don't know. So Kevin Durant and James Harden are in Brooklyn, is what they always wanted. They still have DeAndre Jordan, and they have a few other players that I don't really know.
Wow, I just had a crazy thought. What if they ended up trading Kyrie for Russell Westbrook?
I knew
that
I could
value is now the same.
It is, and Kyrie, unfortunately, is starting to
he depreciated his value.
Yeah, granted. No, I didn't mean to say that they don't have anybody. So the Nets still have Joe Harris, who's a really good player. They still have Landry Shamet, Tyler Johnson. They got Jeff Green still. So they do have some players still. Yeah. It's just those core people that they let go. Those are some big contributors, in my opinion.
Yeah, Jared Allen's like one of the top shot blockers in the league the last 2 years.
And kind of their 6th or 7th man.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they still have some talent, but we're going to see exactly what happens. So with the Pacers, so I feel like the Indiana Pacers, although they lose the veteran leadership of Oladipo,
They
I
get some
think getting
youth with LeVert.
yeah, I think Levert comes in. Sabonis obviously is the guy that they're turning to with Brogdon and TJ Warren.
Yep.
You have a young Cassius Stanley, who's a up and comer. Jalen Leck, TJ McDonald. You got Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday. So they have a lot of pieces, a lot of guards that they can run with. And I mean, you add Levert in there, and I think that they have some real talent there. So I
Yeah,
don't think I
they
have
could
to
still be
worry
a
about
4 or 5 seed. I don't think they're going to be declining.
exactly. And then the Cavs. I don't feel like the Cavs have really done anything over the years to try and get better.
They just got taller, if we were to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they've done much to like really add value.
I think they're still in post LeBron, that moment after, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, and granted, they're 5-7, and
the same record as my Knicks.
and they have a better record than the Rockets. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So it's like I can't really say anything right now.
I still think they're still going to be a lottery team.
They just have to do something. Nobody wants to go to Cleveland. It really might be time for them to relocate.
I mean, they kind of been just drifting.
I mean, it's really unfortunate that they're better than the Pistons right now. The Raptors are 2-8.
Yep.
The Wizards are 3-8. And the Bulls are 4-7. So they're not like at the very bottom.
No,
I'm really surprised.
But they're still going to be like bottom feeding though.
I'm pretty surprised that the Raptors are struggling so much, but they had to go through their issues, of course. So I think we'll have to wait and see with them. But huge win for the Rockets. I mean, I guess it's a win for the Nets if that's what they really wanted.
Yeah, it's a win for them.
The
Nets are in win now situation,
which I can understand, and to win the East.
In fact, to use our 2021 catchphrase, the Nets are doubling down. If you really think about it, this is them doubling down.
Nah, they definitely did. And what a big way. And I think Raphael Stone doubled down, from his free agent acquisitions to this trade. He's really showing that he's the GM of the future.
I don't think he doubled down. I think he just really made a really smart move, if we're going to be honest.
No, he doubled down because
I think it's only doubling down because of compared to what the former GM did. If we're going to be honest.
You think about it. He is officially a Morey underling. Like he's from the Morey tree.
Yeah, the Morey tree.
So
yeah,
you would think
underling, but yes, definitely.
He wasn't underling. He was under his wing, but now he's been propelled into this unexpectedly propelled into this role. Because you think about it, Darryl was still under contract. But he chose to step away. Remember, we went through this whole rant to be around his baby girls.
Oh boy, now he's still in black man, folks.
Okay, but here we are, a couple months later, and Raphael Stone, who brought in some bigs, tried to satisfy some important needs that he felt we needed on the team.
Yep,
some shooters, got into the draft, got some undrafted players that were really good. And here we are now with moving Harden, restructuring and getting that $40-something million contract out the book.
Which is huge, by the way.
You think about it, he moved both contracts.
Yep.
Both contracts. So, that's pretty big. 2 $40-something million contracts he's moved. Although we still have one with John Wall, Victor Oladipo right now is only making $21 million.
Yep.
So somewhere in there, we're back in business. We got cap room. If we don't have cap room, we're closer to being under the luxury tax.
Yes. Yeah.
So now,
not so much this season, but definitely that next season.
So now, when that buyout market comes in and people start, waiving people, we actually might be able to grab a person or two
that doesn't want to go to the Lakers.
That doesn't want to go to the Lakers. Exactly. So,
or now the Nets at this point.
Yeah, which could happen. It could very well happen. And maybe the Rockets might say, hey, we'll give Oladipo $30 million right now. Give you an extension right now.
Hey,
4 years, 30-something million.
I'd take that gamble.
That still saves them $15 million.
Yep.
So I'm okay with this if they play it smart. Don't give Victor Oladipo their $40 million. Give him a minus 30 to 35 over 4. Let it be what it is. We're not throwing out no max deals or nothing like that.
No, don't do that.
And call it a day. John Wall, Victor Oladipo, Eric Gordon, Christian Wood. You still got PJ Tucker. You still got you still got Jayshawn Tate, and you got Boogie. So it's like, run it the way it is.
Just run it back.
All you need to do is add one more big, maybe a young guy.
Yeah, young guy, relatively cheap that can do something. Yeah.
And run it. I like the people that we have. I like David Mwaba. Tate is good. I like, McLemore when he's not hurt. Let's just keep building. I like what they did. The hype is starting to settle, but I'm really excited with what my man Raphael Stone did.
Yeah, shout outs to him. Hopefully he likes your tweet, especially after the Huevos comments.
Huevos.
And yeah, this is our breaking news talking about the James Harden trade. Make sure you like, subscribe, give us a comment, give us your opinion about how you feel about this trade. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you despise it? I mean, do you feel like your team should have gotten in on this trade? What team do you go for? Let us know at Debate Amongst Friends on Twitter, on Facebook as well too, and check out Instagram as we give you more breaking news. I'm Deep Professor John Gotti. That's Doc the Hype God, and we'll keep doubling down for you. Peace and love.
Not dealing with the usual riffraff here. I guess I have no choice. I'm doubling down!